installing a light switch inside a walk-in closet is permitted. The National Electrical Code allows light switches in closets, but it is important they are accessible and not located within a shower or bathtub space. A duplex receptacle, also known as an electrical outlet, can also be installed in a closet. The National Electrical Code requires receptacles in habitable rooms, including closets intended for permanent storage or occupancy. When installing a switch or receptacle, location is important. The switch or receptacle should be placed in an accessible location and not behind doors or in tight spaces. Proper wiring is crucial. The wiring for the switch or receptacle must be installed in an approved electrical box and secured with appropriate fasteners. It is also important to ensure safety. Follow all National Electrical Code regulations and manufacturer's instructions to ensure safe installation and operation. You will also want to consult your local building code authority to confirm specific requirements for electrical installations in closets. It is recommended to have a qualified electrician perform the installation to ensure compliance with codes and safety standards. When installing electrical components in a closet, accessibility is paramount. The switch or receptacle shouldn't be hidden or difficult to reach. Proper wiring entails using the correct gauge of wire, appropriate connectors, and ensuring all connections are tight and secure. Grounding is also a critical safety measure. All electrical boxes and devices must be properly grounded to prevent electrical shock. Grounding involves connecting the metal parts of the electrical system to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or the metal water pipe entering the building. This provides a low-resistance path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker and energizing the circuit. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides detailed requirements for grounding electrical systems. It's important to consult the NEC and follow its guidelines to ensure safe grounding practices. When working with electrical wiring, always turn off the power at the circuit breaker before starting any work. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and rubber gloves, to protect yourself from electrical hazards. If you are not comfortable working with electrical wiring, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work. They have the knowledge and experience to safely and correctly install electrical components. Electrical installations must comply with local building codes and regulations. These codes are designed to protect public safety and ensure that electrical systems are installed in a safe and reliable manner. Building codes vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, so it's important to check with your local building department to determine the specific requirements for your area. Permits may be required for electrical work, so it's important to obtain the necessary permits before starting any work. The electrical panel is the main distribution point for electricity in your home. It contains circuit breakers that protect each circuit from overloads and short circuits. Circuit breakers are designed to trip and interrupt the flow of electricity if the current exceeds the rated capacity of the circuit. This prevents damage to wiring and appliances and reduces the risk of fire. It is important to label each circuit breaker so that you can easily identify which circuit it controls. This will make it easier to turn off the power to specific circuits when you need to perform electrical work. When adding a new circuit, it is important to ensure that the electrical panel has enough capacity to handle the additional load. If the panel is already full, you may need to upgrade it to a larger panel. Upgrading an electrical panel is a complex task that should be performed by a qualified electrician. When choosing a location for a light switch or receptacle, consider the layout of the closet and the location of other electrical components. Avoid placing switches or receptacles in areas where they could be easily damaged or obstructed. Make sure the location is accessible and convenient to use. When installing wiring, use the correct size and type of wire for the application. The National Electrical Code specifies the minimum wire size for different types of circuits. Using the wrong size wire can lead to overheating and fire hazards. When making wire connections, use approved connectors and ensure that the connections are tight and secure. Loose connections can cause arcing and overheating, which can also lead to fire hazards. Protect wiring from physical damage by running it through conduit or other protective enclosures. This will prevent the wiring from being accidentally cut or damaged. When installing light fixtures in a closet, make sure they are properly rated for the environment. Some light fixtures are not suitable for damp or wet locations. Use only light fixtures that are specifically designed for closet use. Follow the manufacturer's instructions when installing light fixtures. Do not exceed the maximum wattage rating for the fixture. Overloading a light fixture can cause it to overheat and fail. Regularly inspect electrical components in your home for signs of damage or wear. Replace any damaged or worn components immediately. Have a qualified electrician inspect your electrical system periodically to ensure that it is in good condition. A professional inspection can identify potential problems before they become serious hazards. Remember, electrical work can be dangerous if it is not done properly. If you are not comfortable working with electrical wiring, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work. They have the knowledge and experience to safely and correctly install electrical components. Here are some additional considerations for installing electrical components in closets. Firstly, consider the type of closet. Is it a walk-in closet or a reach-in closet? Walk-in closets are typically larger and have more space for electrical components. Reach-in closets are smaller and may have limited space. Secondly, consider the purpose of the closet. Is it used for storage, dressing, or other activities? The purpose of the closet will affect the type and location of electrical components that are needed. Thirdly, consider the lighting requirements. How much light is needed in the closet? The amount of light needed will determine the type and wattage of light fixtures that are required. Fourthly, consider the ventilation requirements. Is there adequate ventilation in the closet? Closets that are used for dressing or storing clothes may require ventilation to prevent moisture buildup and mildew growth. Fifthly, consider the accessibility requirement. Are the electrical components easily accessible for maintenance and repair? Make sure the electrical components are located in a place where they can be easily reached. Sixthly, consider the safety requirements. Are the electrical components installed in a safe manner? Follow all National Electrical Code regulations and manufacturer's instructions to ensure safe installation and operation. Seventhly, consider the building code requirements. Are the electrical installations compliant with local building codes and regulations? Consult your local building code authority to confirm specific requirements for electrical installations in closets. Eighthly, ensure proper grounding. Grounding is a critical safety measure that protects against electrical shock. All electrical boxes and devices must be properly grounded. Ninthly, use the correct wiring methods. Use the correct size and type of wire for the application. The National Electrical Code specifies the minimum wire size for different types of circuits. Tenthly, protect wiring from damage. Protect wiring from physical damage by running it through conduit or other protective enclosures. This will prevent the wiring from being accidentally cut or damaged. Finally, always turn off the power at the circuit breaker before starting any electrical work. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires. Following these guidelines will help ensure that electrical components are installed safely and correctly in closets. Remember, if you are not comfortable working with electrical wiring, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work.